Good morning, everybody. I know you guys don't realize that it's morning when I'm recording this because I think I'm going to release this at night. I don't know. But the countdown to Mission Impossible is getting here faster than I realized. Like, we're seeing it on Tuesday. So I got to get these done because I procrastinated and I miscalculated the days. But mostly I procrastinated. But today we're talking about Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And this is where I feel like the series takes a turn. It takes a turn into we're going to advertise the stunts, and the stunts are going to be the marketing. That's what it's going to be. Because here you have the Burj Khalifa, next you have the side of the plane, and then what do you have in in Fallout, Fallout, right? You have, him breaking his leg is like the big stunt and stuff like that, and him flying the helicopter. And obviously in Dead Reckoning Part 1, you've got the motorcycle jump. So like this is where everything kind of shifts. This one is directed by Brad Bird. It stars Paula Patton, Simon Pegg, and I like that. Like as I say in almost everyone, I really like the team. But this one I felt was different because I feel like this is where it felt like Tom Cruise was passing the torch to Jeremy Renner. Like, you see like in the next movie, Jeremy Renner is just like kind of hanging out with Alec Baldwin the whole time, in meetings, and isn't out on the field. And then in Fallout, he's just gone. But it felt like in this movie, he's basically Ethan's equal, just not doing the Ethan stuff. Like, he's an analyst, but they go back and forth, like disarming. There's that clip of like, oh, who are you really, Brand? And it felt like, okay, we're gonna give this to Jeremy Renner. Oh my gosh, sorry. And it was so weird because, like, he almost got Mission Impossible. He did get Bourne, and it just didn't go well. And that was kind of it for Jeremy Renner. Like, I know he's still doing stuff. I'm glad he's on his way to recovery after that terrible snowmobile accident or snow plow machine accident. I can't remember which one it was. But I'm glad he's doing good. But, other than this, it's like, you got Tag, you got The House. Wind River is amazing. But, Arrival, great movie. So, like, he's in good movies after this, but, like, he's not, an action lead anymore after Bourne and Mission Impossible, like, don't go his way. Now, this movie's very successful, but it felt like after the success of this movie, Tom Cruise was like, oh, wait, this is still good? Okay, I'm going to come back then. Sorry, Jeremy. We'll put you in the council meetings, and then we'll play it by ear after that. And they just didn't play it by ear, and he never got another chance to do anything in this series again. But I still really enjoy him in this movie. Like, he does kick a lot of butt, and I like him as I like having an Ethan counterpart. I like having an Ethan equal. I think it makes the show better, the story better. Paula Patton is great in this movie. I love that her partner, boyfriend, husband, Josh Holloway, that was a really cool opening as well. Still my favorite opening, I think, is Mission Impossible 3, still, with Philip Seymour Hoffman. This is a good one, though, with the Josh Holloway, like jumping off, throwing down the cushion, and then turning around and shooting the two guys off the roof. Awesome scene. But I will say, like, you've got the eye thing, and then it like goes to your phone. It's like, there's got to be a better way to do that. Like, by the way, Apple, BMW, Dos Equis. This movie was pure profit after the sponsorship money came in, because Apple's everywhere. This door just like refuses to close. Apple is everything they use in this movie. They all have iPhones. When they do the breaking of the Kremlin, it's on an iPad and like an Apple camera. It's like there's Like everything is Apple in this movie. And then they literally say, it's like, oh, nice plane. Like, wait till you see the car. It's a BMW. They don't say it's a BMW, but advertising a car like that, yeah. So good for them that this movie made so much money, simply because everything was sponsored. I do love the bad guy, Léa Seydoux. She's so incredibly gorgeous, an amazing femme fatale in this movie, and I love everything she's done since then. And it's crazy, you know, like, this was like one of her first like American roles, and that's really cool that Brad Bird like saw like what this was, like who she was, and was like, yeah, we're gonna put you in this like lead role. And just my cat is just like, oh my gosh, just parkouring like crazy over there. So I apologize, y'all. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't have editing equipment. But I love Léa Seydoux in this role. Getting to the Burj Khalifa scene, which, yeah, like the prison breakout at the opening is really good. And like, you know, we welcome, you know, Simon Pegg back. It's awesome having him, you know, do The Doors and Frank Sinatra playing, and him like, you know, elbowing 30 Russians in the head. Tom Cruise likes his elbows. I don't know what kind of martial arts he trains, but he loves him some elbows. But it's like a solid opening. But the Kremlin break-in is like where this movie really kicks off, and great break-in scene. I love the screen simulating the hallway, doing the little sync noise. That guy, I will say, the security guard is very concerned about the sync. He's not a plumber. Like, I think if I heard that, I'd check on it one time, but then I'd realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm guarding the Russian comparison to the Pentagon right now, and the files for the secret doodad are 10 feet away from me. I should keep an eye on that and not worry about the sync, because I'm not a water hydration specialist. But I love that scene. It's so good. You know, when Tom Cruise people have been using this gif for like Barbie and Oppenheimer, like him taking off the military uniform and changing into like a tourist immediately. The explosion doesn't hold up, and I mean, sorry, Christopher Nolan, I don't want them to really blow up the Kremlin, but it doesn't. The graphics don't hold up very well, and it's just technology. It's really okay. When he wakes up in the hospital, the Russian cop, I like that. He's like an antagonist, but like you could tell, like, yeah, he's just misunderstood right now. But they make him likable. They don't make him, you know, like the cop from Die Hard where he's wrong about everything. He's just like, yeah, I'm here to get after you because the Kremlin just blew up and you're an American spy, so I need to question you. And then, you know, when he's like on the balcony and he's like thinking about, there's the big dumpster, which is like every movie staple. Is like, oh yeah, I can jump into the trash. It's gonna feel great. And he's like, go ahead. Lights his cigarettes. Yeah, try it. So I like that character. I like that they keep running into him. And then at the end of the movie, when Tom Cruise is all beaten up and bad, he's like, hospital? He's like, yes. It's great. But I will say, after the Kremlin, the Burj Khalifa's good. I'll get to the Burj Khalifa, but I do like him meeting Jeremy Renner and Tom. What's his name? I have it on the tip of my tongue. Is he like uncredited in this movie? I've got the IMDb right here. Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking of Tom Sandoval. Tom Wilkinson. Yeah, uncredited. Crazy. Wait. Oh, yeah. Ving Rhames uncredited, too. Tom Wilkinson. I knew it was Tom. But that part's cool. And then just getting to the Burj Khalifa, which is like the really big set piece of this movie, which is like, I feel like its greatest strength, but then also it comes too early because after the Burj Khalifa, there's really not much. Like I was watching it and I was like, this is amazing. Him climbing the Burj Khalifa. absolutely insane. Like, I don't care how many cables you hook up to me. This is not happening. I think I'd rather do the plane stunt than the Burj Khalifa. I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid, but that's just, it's a different level height. And I don't even know if I could go in the room that they were in, let alone outside of it. But that whole scene is great. The face mask machine breaking, because like that's been such a crutch for Mission Impossible, is like face masks. And I love that they didn't have that to use. But the problem is, and this is like, I can't say enough good things about the Burj Khalifa. Like I'm not trying to like skip over like, yeah, that's great, but let's talk about the bad stuff. I'm just saying like that scene is beautiful. It is well directed. The first shot, that one take that where he goes out onto the window, breathtaking still, even on the small screen. And I was watching this on my friend's like big screen TV, but I mean like not in the theater. I'd love to like see a thing of this, like a re-release of this, just to see that one scene. But after that, and this is the problem of having like, especially going from Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's one of the best villains like of all time, to having like Michael Nyqvist, who's a great actor, but you don't know anything about him. He's almost faceless in the movie. Literally that whole Burj Khalifa scene, he's wearing a mask. And so it felt so empty of just like, yeah, a guy wants a nuke. Guy wants a nuke. And so, especially when after, you know, the sandstorm's coming in and Tom Cruise is chasing him and he's got goggles on, it's like, okay, why can't Tom Cruise catch up to him? He's proven to be borderline unstoppable in the last few movies. And then, like, when he's fighting him, why can't he beat him in a fight? Like, there's nothing in here that lets me know of, like, what training this guy has, what is, like, we know his convictions. He's crazy. He wants to blow up a bomb and start World War III. Cool. But just, like, is there anything else? There's not? Okay. And that's, like, the real big weakness of this is that after the Burj Khalifa, you have them going to, I believe it's Mumbai. Like there's some fun stuff in there. Paula Patton looks amazing. And like, you know, the magnets with the metal suit, good part. And then, you know, the parking structure, like the automated parking structure, and him like crashing the car to get down there. That's all great, but it's just kind of like, and I don't mean to like dismiss it. Yeah, Mumbai. Got it. I don't mean to dismiss it, but it really does like take, not a nosedive, but it definitely like takes a dip and then it plateaus right there where like it's still entertaining, but it's not like on that high of highs. And even getting to the next movie, there's still like some really good stuff up until the end and in Fallout. And so this movie does do the, like, I don't know if they could have switched that where like doing the Burj Khalifa scene to get to like, you know, the off switch of the bomb would be outside the thing, because Michael Nyqvist doesn't need to be in the final scene. Like he's just, I like the part where like, you know, Ethan's kind of beating him in a fight. He's got nowhere to go. And so he just takes the case and just jumps off the building to be like, you can't come down here. So I'm just going to kill myself and do that. And I do like that. Like I was like, okay, this guy's pretty committed to his craziness. But that's like the one thing of character we get from him. But other than that, I was surprised of how much like I became disinterested in the back half of this movie after the Burj Khalifa. I was like, okay, there's some good stuff in here, but there's not much. There's really not much. And so I do have Mission Impossible 3 ahead of this movie. That might be sacrilege, but I do have it ahead. The Burj Khalifa is still one of the most amazing pieces of filmmaking of this century, and that can't be understated. But as a film, it drops off so heavily in that third act that I do have to dock points from it. I still find this movie wildly entertaining. I'm so glad they brought Simon Pegg back. I'm glad Ving Rhames is in the post-credit. Not post-credit, but, you know, end of the movie. And then I love the story with Jeremy Renner of, like, you know, I was supposed to protect this ambassador. We knew a Serbian hit team was coming for him and his wife. I took a break. The Serbian team kidnapped his wife, and then I lost him, and I didn't realize who it was until Ethan Hunt came into the van that I was in, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing. And then him finding out that, like, I love that, oh, like, Julia might still be alive. And because, like, it's a good thing. Like, I love the love story, but you got to have Ethan Hunt come back, and you can't have him be married. Like, that's just, like, too much. Yeah, like, we get it. But I think they handled that so well. And then him seeing her at the very end and them just, like, kind of looking at each other like, I get it. And Julia knows, like, you're out there still. I love that. And I love that she comes back in Fallout. It's amazing. And I didn't realize that, like, they mentioned the Syndicate in the end of this movie. I'd forgotten about that. This movie came out 12 years ago. Crazy to see. And they mentioned, like, if you choose to accept it, kind of post-credits thing, they're like, oh, we discovered a rogue asset called the Syndicate. And it goes into the next 2 movies. And I really like that. So, great stuff. Good movie. Weak third act, but that's okay because the second act is just that good. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.